I think there was a vast debate, a huge debate among Iranian scholars, bloggers, and journalists on the role of United Nations, and especially the Committee for Human Rights in Geneva. And no one is denying that UN can play a positive role. But I was reading text, a lot of text, which I think represent a very, very high proportion of Green Movement activists. And they were asking questions like, we had Darfur crisis, and we had things in Tibet going on, we had things in Russia, in Africa, different places of the world. The very same committee in Geneva spent 1.5 years, was unable to have a single resolution on Darfur, which we were in a part of time, 10 to 15,000 people were dying daily. And the very same council, in the very same period, had 9 statements against Israel. You may wonder why Iranian public is talking about that, because I think there is this capacity. They are able to analyze the whole issue, and they can see that perhaps having hope in that council in Geneva, which is always being compromised. It's a council which Saudi Arabia and Sudan and China are sometimes member of the committee. This is not very realistic hope in United Nations and Human Rights Council in Geneva to come and condemn Iran as somebody who is violating human rights. So who you are going to ask? You want to ask China to vote against Iran, or you want to ask Sudan against Iran? They knew that unfortunately the structure of UN and the Human Rights Council is pretty politicized and is ineffective. It's a kind of playground between African, Arabic nations against West and so on. And at least for very short future, nothing great is not going to come out of that for Iranian protesters.